and welcome to Fantasy F1 is back for season 2023. The league is open. It took a while for them to open the league this year, but we're back, bigger, better than ever. We had a huge season of Fantasy F1 last season where we saw the numbers explode. This year, we'll be looking for the same. It was a great fun season with fantastic support from DRAutoArt. Chris from DRAutoArt very kindly offered to put up the prizes this year and last year, and yeah, the prizes were fantastic. And so, if you haven't seen Chris's stuff, start browsing through his catalogue because he will. You'll be able to choose the item that you win, and you'll be able to see all of his great work on there, and support him for supporting us. But Fantasy F1, Tristan, how is your team looking most importantly?
Team looks great.
We'll get to it in a mini.
The least amount of time putting my team together than I ever have in years gone by.
So high confidence.
The most confident I've ever been in throwing it together.
Yeah. Well, we were just outside the top 10 last year.
I was, yeah. I think, no, I was inside top 10.
Yeah, just outside.
I think so.
I think it was just outside.
Yeah,
you ended up bringing me down. I think I matched it towards the end of the season,
yeah,
but at the start of the season, yeah, just it was
damage was done.
Damage was done.
And we're all hoping for much the same.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I remember to use my Mega Driver this year.
Yep, I think that'd be handy.
That's the key, I think. What are some of the changes that have happened this year?
So, new changes, and
Hang
I
on,
guess
sorry, I've
general.
just realised.
Yes.
I haven't probably told everyone properly what it is. So,
Sure.
If you're not sure what Fantasy F1 is, if you go to the website and you go to the gaming tab, you'll find Fantasy F1. It's where you choose 5 drivers and 2 constructors this year.
Yep.
5 drivers, 2 constructors. You've got a budget to work with. And, yeah, you put together the drivers that you think are going to earn you the most points. And it's not just about positions. It's about all sorts of things like overtakes and beating their teammates and having runs and all sorts of things
streaks,
like that.
all that kind of thing.
Yep. And so we put together a league and, yeah, you'll race against the other leagues and see how you go for that. Now, tell me about the rule changes, sorry.
All right, so rule changes are a little bit of a tweak to the Mega Driver and the Turbo Driver that we had from last year. So DRS Boost is what it's known as now. You can choose which driver will score for double points, and any driver in your team can be given DRS Boost. So last year with Mega Drivers, you couldn't have Max and you couldn't have Lewis. You couldn't have the most expensive drivers on the grid.
Max, Leclerc, and Lewis were the people.
So now you can have anyone to give you the DRS boost, and they'll have double points for the weekend. I'm pretty sure that's going to work in the same if you have a negative score too. So if you're -2, you're going to be -4. So you've got to be careful with that.
Yep, that bit, what's the other thing?
Yep. Chips is a new thing. Chips can help power up your team, and finding out more about how chips work, which is where you get triple points for someone. So that's almost like
your Mega Driver last year.
That's almost like your Mega Driver from last year.
Yep.
So yeah, chips is a new aspect of it, and I'm pretty confident that the chips will roll over for the next week too. So if you got 2 chips to use, then you use 1 chip, you will get a rollover of chips.
Hang on, whoa! You're not getting chips every week.
I think so. You're getting something every week.
Let me work that out. You definitely get the
You're getting
DRS.
something that's a rollover. You get DRS. Yep.
Chips. Okay. There you go.
Exciting times.
What else? Any other changes? I mean, 2 constructors is different this year.
2 constructors is very different. So some people who
confuse me a lot.
Yeah, who are really familiar with the Fantasy F1 landscape, there's Fantasy GP, which is an alternative, more of like a lower quality in terms of F1 Fantasy League that's sort of been happening for many years now. It's like sort of back alley.
Yep.
Sort of F1 fantasy is the way I want to describe it. However, still very, very good. And in there, you have other things where you have to have, your top 3 finishes. And, there's a trick question, like who's going to be your first retirement or how many safety cars and stuff like that to earn bonus points. But in that one, too, you need 2 constructors. So it's interesting to see that the official fantasy game has gone down that path, too. I thought that, too. I didn't bother to read any of the fine print when I logged in last night. I just jumped in and then I was like, wait. 2 constructors? So threw me with the $100 million budget.
I think there needs to be more read into it because the way they're talking about it is you add a second constructor to your lineup this season and pick your strategy to make the most of the new point scoring category. So,
interesting.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see whether you've got to have one in front of the other. That's something that we probably need to look into a little bit further.
Sure.
Transfers, you get to make you 2 free transfers per team ahead of each Grand Prix.
Which is good, and I think anything outside of the 2, it's going to cost you points.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so you can make more, but after your 2, you're going to lose. I think it was negative 10 points last year.
I haven't seen anything about a wild card this year.
No, maybe that's where the other things come into it.
Yep. Overtakes, new for this season, win points for every overtake your driver.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
I do like that. For the drivers that are coming from the back of the grid.
It'll be a little bit strategic with the people that you choose.
Pit stops. Okay, there's nothing like a spectacular, perfect pit stop, and now the fastest teams will score points.
Ooh,
yeah.
Very nice.
So it's interesting, isn't it?
Interesting.
I'm a bit concerned about one of my teams now. I thought about that. I might need to make some changes. Points will be awarded and deducted based on the driver constructor performance of each Grand Prix. Classifications through the weekend are based on decisions made by the FIA and Formula One. Yep. So that means if there is an appeal, the appeal comes to us as well. Yep. So it's all fairly straightforward from there.
Awesome. So Constructors looks to be new as well. So Constructors will also score points achieving for one of the following. So neither driving reaching Q2 will be -1. One driver reaching Q2 will be 1. Both reaching will be 3. One driver reaching Q3 is 5 points. And both drivers reaching Q3 is 10 points. So all of that is new.
It is.
Yeah, 1 point per overtake, as you said, is also very new.
Yep. And then, apart from that, it sort of feels a little bit the same.
Yeah.
Fastest pit stop, though, this is big. 10 points.
10 points.
For the fastest pit stop. Second fastest pit stop's 5 points.
Yep.
And 3 points for the third fastest.
Yeah, and your team management exceeding the free transfer allowance is 4 points per additional transfer. So they've been a little bit more generous this year. Creating a team after the team lock deadline is -10 points too.
The chips are saying need a boost, play one of your chips. So I don't think you get too many. I'm not sure how many you get, but you're not getting too many, I don't think.
So this is really interesting with your overtakes down the bottom in the fine print. So overtakes are considered valid when one driver legally passes another on track and the driver passed was not entering or in the pit lane or suffering a car failure or going unreasonably slow.
So if someone's broken down...
So if you're DNFing and you're getting past...
that's not
I think
counted.
that's harsh.
No, that's not counted.
It's still part of the race, though.
No, it's not an overtake.
Don't mind it, though.
They're trying to encourage overtaking because I'm sure the drivers will be really worried about us.
Yep.
There's all sorts of new bits and pieces. Now, there are prizes within F1 Fantasy, but they're not as good as our prizes.
Nowhere near as good as Chris and DRAutoArt's prizes.
Yep, make sure you get along and have a good look.
Go out and have a look at his Instagram, Facebook page, his Redbubble store too. Incredible artwork, and a massive thanks to Chris.
Absolutely.
For once again being part of our fantasy league. Now, we need to...
We'll be hoping he's on.
I'm hoping he's on. We'll definitely have him on. So, if you are looking at joining our fantasy league code. So when you go in and you're looking for a league, it is a private league that you can add to. So grab your pens and pencils and crayons and texters and whatnot.
Because Tristan got this wrong the first time.
This is our league ID. Mind you, it was midnight last night. Thank you very much.
Good on Tristan for staying up until that late.
I told you I was committed.
To make that happen, and then he was just a little tired and got the wrong code.
Just got the wrong, left
and
zero out.
Poor old Paul Cook from Western Australia. Our cat grooming friend, I imagine he was frustrated.
Yeah, well, it would have been 10 o'clock for Paul.
Not only have we still not sent him the stubby holders he's owed, he couldn't get in.
Anyway, all right, league ID coming at you right now. So, C3J6U88Z304.
Very important.
All right, so there's our league ID. If you didn't catch that, rewind your podcast, but also have a look on our Facebook page. We've got the league ID posted there, and throughout the week we'll put just live links we'll just put up, mate, just so people can jump on, add yourself to the league. We've got 13 teams so far in just 24 hours ready to go.
If check it out, and if
you
miss that code,
anyone and everyone,
this is my recommendation for you. Hot tip today.
Yes,
recommendation is you're probably going to have to hit the reverse by 30 seconds twice. And then put your podcast in half speed.
Oh.
And you'll pick up the code very, very easily.
Wow, look at you go. I mean,
Yeah, everyone's going to do that.
No,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right, are we revealing our teams?
Yeah,
am I going first?
Yeah, you're going first because you led last year.
All right, okay. What do you want me to start with? Just drivers?
Drivers, yeah. Work your way down.
All right, just going to work my way down in grid order here. All right, so my first driver is Max, Perez, Alonso, De Vries.
Really?
Yep. Albon.
Yep.
And then my two constructors are Red Bull and Aston Martin.
Interesting. Okay. I've got Max. I've got Charles. I've got Alonso. Is there anyone who won't have Alonso?
People who hate Alonso?
I don't think there's many anymore.
No, I don't think so.
So, yeah, I think Alonso's like the driver you've got to have.
Yep.
Because you can't afford not to have him.
I can already predict your first constructor.
But you're not getting any benefit out of having him.
No.
Because I think everyone's going to have him.
And he's a steal at 8.3
million. Oh, yeah, he's cheap. I've got Bottas, and I've got Zhou. I've gone a double, which I did. That could change, and it could change come practice time. But
sure.
At the moment, I'm going the double Alfa Romeo.
Double Alfa, okay.
I just think both of them are going to have good seasons.
Okay.
Who do you think my first?
Ferrari.
Other than my second.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've gone Aston Martin and Ferrari.
Okay, cool.
And I'm a bit concerned about Aston Martin because of the Stroll situation and Dragovic. So they may go. They may go because not having that strong second driver and then it possibly going to a rookie to start with. I don't know if I can start a season like that. I think I might have to bring them in later on.
Sure.
But I am concerned that their value may go up. Now that I've seen about the pit stop business, I feel like I need to have Red Bull involved in my team.
If you're going to get points for pit stop, the last team you want is Ferrari.
Yeah.
Based on
I'm concerned. I've got some concerns early.
Well,
I think they've got the best driver lineup.
I think so too.
I'm a bit concerned about the pit stop business.
Okay, yes.
So they might clean it up. Who else is? I think McLaren were pretty good on their pit stops last year. I think they actually won.
If anyone out there listening is stupid enough.
No, well, for pit stops only.
No, stupid enough.
Yeah.
To even consider either McLaren driver or a McLaren
I was so close to having
constructor.
I was so close to having Oscar.
Oh my god! You could put Oscar just to see because I'm sure he's not much. Yeah. The other thing I found interesting too, not that I want to give other people instant tips, but you can actually have Max and Charles and Ferrari as a cost combination. But then I don't know what.
That's what I've got.
Yeah, I'm not sure what your second tier. Yeah, it's too. Sorry.
Then you got Alonso and Bottas and Zhou, and I've got money left over, so it's not like it was.
How much do you have left over?
I've still got 2.1.
Oh, I've got 2.4. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, but my next, I wanted Bottas.
Yep.
I wanted Alonso.
Yep.
I wasn't sure on to upgrade Zhou.
Yeah.
I'm confident in Zhou in having a good season.
And that's the thing with those lower levels. So, I've got De Vries for 5 million and I've got Albon for 5. Now, I could dump either of them and, let's have a look at who I could get if there. So, if I'm dumping De Vries, for example, it's going to give me 7 to play with.
Yep.
But outside of that, I can have Oscar, I can have K-Mag, or I can have Zhou, or Sonoda, or Hulk, or Sargent. So, when I'm looking at who's there, I've already got Albon. I don't know that Oscar's worth 7 straight up. He's in 16% of teams.
Because of his team.
Yeah, he's in 16% of teams picked already.
Yep.
De Vries is in 29%. It's interesting to see Max is already in 56% of all teams that have been created so far. Charles is in 44% at this rate. This will change. Lance is good value. No, let me correct. Lance is incredible value if that Aston is going to be super, super, super quick.
Because what Lance is now is not a driver that can't drive.
He's
quite an okay driver.
He's only $500,000 more than Piastri, who's never set foot on a Formula One track in a race weekend ever.
And is in an absolute
box. Is in literally a Hyundai Excel.
Yep.
So Lance is in incredible form, value.
I desperately wanted to try and get one of the Alpine boys in.
Well,
and I can't quite get there.
And that's it, and that's sort of the thing. If I know I've got 2 million left, but I'm going to have to go for I don't want Hulk, I don't want Sargent, I don't want Sonoda, and I don't want Joe. So I'd rather go and throw DeFries in there, and I think it's sort of just, it's not quite bottom rung, but it's sort of...
I'm tossing up whether Joe goes for K-Mag.
Yep.
Because he's a nice, consistent driver. They started the season well. I just don't know if Haas is going to start the season quite as well as what they did last year.
13% of people have chosen McLaren. That means 13% of people have been drinking
McLaren fans.
Heavily last night and this morning.
Yeah.
Creating their F1 teams.
Yep.
AlphaTauri is in 4%.
Albon's the other one I could go for.
Williams is in 3%.
To split up my drivers.
Incredible. 54% of people have Aston.
I'm interested to see who started with an autofill.
The most selected team.
Who started with an autofill function? You can go autofill.
Can you really?
I don't know what the point of playing is if you can't pick 5 drivers and 2 teams. It's not like you're picking a roster of 60 players like they do in the NFL or 24 players or whatever they do with the AFL.
All right.
It's a bit of a concern.
I'm going to randomly autofill right now. I've just cleared my team. I'm going to autofill and see what we got. All right, this is what I've got. George, Valtteri, Lance, Kevin, Verstappen, Ferrari, and Alpine.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all, actually.
Not bad.
Don't mind it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing other people's teams and all the team names. What's your favourite team name at the moment?
What's my favourite team name? I read them before. Sorry, I'm going back.
Oh, sorry.
My team back.
I've caught you out.
You caught me out of putting my... I'm putting my team back.
The Red Bull Catering Fund.
Red Bull Catering Fund, that's it. So whoever...
a wonderful team name. And
I love that.
And Cooking with Haas.
Yes, Cooking with Haas. Red Bull Catering Fund was my favourite. So, whoever made that, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for making that team name. But, please share it with everyone that you know. Friends, family, the cat, the dog, neighbours, your friend who hates Formula 1. Anyone and everyone. Your bosses at work. Start a fantasy league at work and make sure our league code is the one that you use. And get around it because we want as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
To be part of. To be part of everything that we're doing this year. And go on, as I said, massive thank you to Chris and DRAutoArt for all that he does, for all of our wonderful things here on the podcast. And head over to his Facebook page and give him a bit of a like and a follow. And grab yourself a bit of artwork from him.
Fantastic.
Pre-season.
Look forward to seeing the results of the round 1. And make all those changes all the way up to qualifying. We'll talk all about it next week. Goodbye now.